On the third and final day of his Europe tour, one of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's most significant engagement will take place today. It is the second India-Nordic summit. Prime Minister Modi will hold meetings with leaders of Sweden, Finland, Iceland and Norway. Together with Denmark, these countries form the Nordic Five, small countries but economic powerhouses. The collective GDP of the Nordic Five is $1.8 trillion, bigger than that of Russia. Russia's GDP is $1.5 trillion. The first India-Nordic summit was held back in Stockholm back in 2018. Prime Minister Modi will meet the prime ministers of these five countries together, then separately. The significance of this summit can be gauged by the fact that the United States is the only other country with which the Nordic states engage with at a summit level. On the agenda of this summit will be post-pandemic economic recovery, climate change, innovation and technology, renewable energy and the India-Nordic cooperation in the Arctic region, not to mention the Ukraine war. Engagement between Europe and India has increased. Foreign ministers from European nations have visited India, making a push for growing strategic and economic cooperation. The Prime Minister's visit could set the stage for India-EU summit, likely boosting free trade agreement negotiations between the two. Later on, Prime Minister Modi is also set to meet French President Emmanuel Macron in Paris. The meeting will be followed by a dinner at the Elysee Palace with a special vegetarian menu for the occasion. The visit is symbolic since it comes on the heels of President Macron's re-election. Talks will allegedly focus on India's Make in India initiative, cooperation in defense, the Ukraine conflict and the growing tensions in the Indo-Pacific. And for more on this, our principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibbal is now joining us live from the Danish Prime Minister's office. Now, thank you for joining us, Siddhant. What can you tell us about the meeting scheduled for the day, also the India-Nordic summit, and what can we expect in terms of discussions and key focus areas here?
Well, WION team has just entered the Prime Minister's office here in Copenhagen. So a lot of chaos and commotion around me, but largely a lot of energy as well in terms of what's going to happen in the next few hours in the Prime Minister's office where I am standing right now. Of course, there is media presence as well, but a lot of things on focus. First, of course, the bilateral component where the Indian Prime Minister meets his other counterparts from the Nordic countries. Then, of course, it is the India-Nordic summit. Something that brings together the five Nordic countries and India, and on that platform there are many issues to be discussed: renewables, climate change, clean technology. And remember, these five countries are world leader when it comes to clean technology, and this is something that can help India, given that India needs to meet its climate targets, the Glasgow climate targets, and these countries have the skill and India has the scale, and this can help both the region, this region, and of course India. It's a win-win partnership, but if you look at what is expected, it is natural that the Russian invasion of Ukraine is going to dominate the agenda, something that dominated during Prime Minister's visit to Berlin, and here in Copenhagen as well. It's no different. We saw yesterday the Denmark Prime Minister talking about it, clearly mentioning that India can use its influence to persuade Russia when it comes to this invasion, and something this has truly shocked Europe. In fact, when I was going around the city of Copenhagen, I could see the flags of Ukraine, something that I saw in Berlin as well. So there is a deep sense of shock here in Europe over the Russian invasion, and it's natural during the summit as well. This will be discussed by the five leaders and of course the Indian side as well. Yesterday, of course, the Indian side gave its own perspective, and there is an understanding as well over India's dependency on Russia regarding its defense needs. India imports almost 60% of its defense needs from Russia. So whether it's Berlin, whether it's Copenhagen, or whether it will be in Paris, the understanding does exist, but there is a kind of focus from Europe that India, if it can change its stance over what is happening in Ukraine, and there has been a gradual evolution, because India did condemn what happened in Busha in Ukraine, and that was something that was seen as a significant evolution in India's policy since the war began in Ukraine.
Absolutely, Siddhant. Now, going forward, what sort of cooperation can we expect between India and the Nordic Five? WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.